This is Luton, and I'm bringing you guys a new game, something that's not FPS related, but I know a lot of the people that watch my videos really like the calmness and the way that I try to present myself through my videos, so I thought that this would be an appropriate thing to bring to the channel, just as something that's a bit of a change. And I hope that it could be something that you guys would appreciate in the way that I appreciate this game. Now, this game is called Journey, and I think it's honestly one of the most beautiful games that I've ever played. I love so many different types of game and playing, and for me, a game is always kind of like a book. It's like a story that you can imagine for yourself, place yourself in, and think about new worlds, new situations. It takes you to a different place, and that's something that I feel that this game does. Now, I'm not going to try and talk too much over this. In fact, I'm not even sure whether I want to commentate after this first episode. So I'll let you guys judge that. If you'd like me to commentate over the rest of these, then I'll do so. But I think it would be nice to have some videos where you don't commentate, because I don't think this game needs it. And if anything, I think having me constantly talking could, ruin the whole ambience of this game in the first place. I would just say that if you do have a PS3, I would strongly recommend you picking this game up. You can download it from the PSN store, and it's really not very expensive. But for someone like me who, I have a very busy lifestyle in the city, and every day for me is a big rush, a lot of stress, this is just something that you can take yourself right out from. And the other thing that I often have found myself thinking recently is how many games I own that have guns in. Like, it must be 90%. And not all of those are, FPS, like Battlefield 3. There's all different types of game, like Tomb Raider and things like that, but they still have guns in. So I think it's nice to have something like this, which is, a break from all the fighting, something that's just takes you to a different place. You can, it doesn't give you any story or instructions, so you can make that for yourself. You can make your own story. And maybe I'll introduce a name that I feel appropriate for this character at some point. Actually, it's not true that there's no story. There is definitely a kind of suggested narrative. But again, I still think it leaves you very open to interpretation for yourself. I like to think that about all games, really, that you can bring your own interpretation to things. The other thing that I thought about with this game is its simplicity. It means that it can be enjoyed by anyone of any age. And I know that the Wii obviously has kind of done that for people, but I think it's done it in not always a very successful way. And something like this, I think, would appeal to different people for different reasons. And I think it's simplistic enough that, let's say, for example, older people, like, for example, my parents may enjoy without frustration, whereas some Wii games they can, they still require a level of gaming skill. Whereas this is just about moving through a space, looking at the environment around you. You still have to figure out some puzzles and things like that, but so far that I've come across, they're quite straightforward. But whilst these environments are very gorgeous, they are very simple. Before anybody wonders, I did explore that small temple over on the right, and it was just a space. I love the movement, I love how they've allowed you to move and slide. And obviously what your character does is pick up power-up. And these little floating, I don't know, ethereal cards. They seem to have like a life force to them. I think I'm going to decide on a name for my character. I'll think about that tomorrow. I think I potentially missed some little bits and pieces because I was just kind of exploring and finding my way. Maybe if I played it through again I'd find some things that I missed, but I think I did most of the important things in this first section. And I didn't want to make a video that would be me just running around searching forever on end. And these little power-ups extend my little cape here, which gives you a longer jumping and flight time. I think the sense of space and distance there, they've really done well. Like, you feel the scale of the environment around you, and it really does feel huge. Especially when you're in the desert areas, you can really sense that sort of perspective. And obviously we're on this journey to the far mountain. But as you progress, you really do feel like, you can imagine there's going to be environments, spaces, and challenges along the way. But it feels very much like a real space. The same as in like Red Dead Redemption, where you could look from a hilltop and everything you could see in front of you, you knew you'd be able to move through. That's how it feels with this. And that's such a nice feeling to have, to know that you can move towards what you can see. Now whenever I play these kind of games, I don't rush or sprint, and I've watched people on YouTube and I watch how they play Let's Plays, which this isn't. I'll do everything post-production. But I often see people rushing and trying to move things as quickly as possible. And I think, as you guys may guess, that's not how I do things. I like to look at what's been created. I like to look at the space. I like to find my own way around things. because that's what these games are about. If you don't look at what's been created for you, you're missing half of the game. And if you just rush through as quickly as possible going, I can do this, well, you've missed the whole point. And you've lost out as well. Now this obviously tells us the story and where we're moving towards, but I'm not going to decipher this for you, because I think these kind of things are always about your own interpretation, so I'm going to let you guys think and figure that out for yourself. So here we are, and we're coming up to the end of this first section. So let me know if you guys like this, whether you'd like me to do more. I think I want to do more because I really enjoy this and it's very calming, makes me feel good. Thanks for watching, guys. I'd like to hear and hear what you think, see what you think, and hopefully see you for the next one.